Hi, welcome. I'm a person who searches for facts and loves to explore the unexplored. And this is the place where I share it. Yes, Kaumudy English presents you with Showtime. We want you to think, we want you to opine, and we want to bring about a change. The fact of the day is how a family is protecting the ancient art form called Tholpavakoothu. There are things in it which are to be put to discussion. Listen and decide. Shadow puppetry or Tholpavakoothu, also known as Nizhalpavakoothu, is the first visual form of art that ever existed, says Rajeev Pulavar. Now, who is a person, Rajeev Pulavar? The son of the legendary shadow puppetry artist Padmasree Ramachandra Pulavar. The evolution of Tholpavakoothu dates back to the ancient times when man discovered shadow. Shadow puppetry is the oldest ancestral art form to modern art forms like drama, films, animation, and even gifs. Over to the words of Rajeev Pulavar, the Junior Legend of Tholpavakoothu.
Rajeev Pulavar.
My name is Rajeev Pulavar. I am an artist of Tholpavakoothu or shadow puppetry, performing it hereditarily. I come from a place called Koonatara near Shornur. I feel proud to say that I am the eldest son of the Padmasree awardee Ramakrishna Pulavar and one among the artists of his shadow puppetry team. I left my government job for the sake of preserving Tholpavakoothu. Now I indulge myself completely in this art form and perform Tholpavakoothu throughout Kerala. I, along with my team, intend to spread the value of Tholpavakoothu and play the art in the best novel way possible. Tholpavakoothu is the first visual art form in the world. It is as old as the time when man discovered shadows. It is also known as Nizhalpavakoothu. It is said so because after the formation of the sun, then the earth, and then human beings with their hands and legs danced and performed with their shadows. Thus, Tholpavakoothu becomes the first visual art form, being a combination of dance and shadows. Drama, films, and even gifs are the evolved forms of the shadow puppetry or Tholpavakoothu, which dates back to the ancient times. This art form has been performed traditionally since a long time, basically in the districts of Palakkad, Thrissur, and Malappuram. Shadow puppetry can be found in all parts of the world, both in the Asian and the European. It takes different forms in different cultures in different nations. But it is only in Kerala that Tholpavakoothu is being performed regarding the Puram Ulsav in various temples of the Malabar periodized to be performed on 7, 14, 21, 41 and 71 days periodically.
Like any other art form, Tholpavakoothu also has its own rules and conventions. Oh, by the way, I don't like these rules and conventions at times. And also, the traditional ways in which it has to be performed. We have to learn and master all the movements of the animals before we depict them in the show, says Rajeev Pulavar.
Like all other art forms, Tholpavakoothu also has various rules and conventions in being performed. How an animal puppet is to be moved could be mastered perfectly only by learning how the animal would move in real life.
There is a myth behind the evolution of Tholpavakoothu, and to hear that from a person who has mastered it would be perfect. So, over to Rajeev Pulavar.
അങ്ങനെയുള്ള തൊൽപ്പാവക്കൂത്ത് എന്ന് പറയുന്ന കലാരൂപം ഇത് അവതരിപ്പിക്കുവാനുള്ള ഐതിഹ്യവും മിത്തും എന്താണെന്ന് വെച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഭദ്രകാളി ദേവി ക്ഷേത്രങ്ങളിലാണ്. നമുക്കറിയാം തെക്കൻ ജില്ലകളിലും വടക്കൻ ജില്ലകളിലും അവിടേതായ സങ്കല്പമുണ്ട്, ഭദ്രകാളി ദാരിക സങ്കല്പമുണ്ട്. ഈ സങ്കല്പത്തിനെ ആസ്പദമായിക്കൊണ്ടാണ് നമ്മുടെ കാവുകളിൽ തൊൽപ്പാവക്കൂത്ത് അവതരിപ്പിച്ചു വരുന്നത്. അങ്ങനെയുള്ള കാവുകളിൽ എന്തുകൊണ്ടാണ് വടക്കൻ ജില്ലകളിൽ പോയി കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ അവിടെ തെയ്യത്തിനും പ്രാധാന്യം കൊടുത്തുകൊണ്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നു, തെക്കൻ ജില്ലകളിൽ പോയി കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ മുടിയേറ്റിനും പ്രാധാന്യം കൊടുത്തുകൊണ്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നു? ഇതേ സങ്കല്പത്തിന്റെ അടിസ്ഥാനത്തിൽ ഇതെല്ലാം ഭദ്രകാളി ദാരിക സങ്കല്പമാണ്. ഈ സങ്കല്പത്തിന്റെ അടിസ്ഥാനത്തിൽ തന്നെയാണ് തോൽപ്പാവക്കൂത്തും നമ്മുടെ വള്ളൂരാണ് പ്രദേശങ്ങളിലെ 85ഓളം ദേവീക്ഷേത്രങ്ങൾ നടത്തി വരുന്നത്.
Let me tell you something more interesting. We know about situations where females get neglected, or rather female achievements less celebrated, right, as compared to the male achievements. Can you imagine? This is what led to the evolution of Tholpavakoothu. Goddess Bhadragali in Hindu mythology wins a battle, and that was not celebrated. How cruel, right? To which she openly questioned Lord Shiva. The goddess asked, "Is it because I'm a female that my victory is not being celebrated, but the victory of Rama over Ravana is being widely commemorated as they are males?" Oh, people might think that Bhadragali was being feministic, right? Do you feel so? But I felt the question to be quite natural a question. Think about it. But the myth answers the goddess, and that led to the birth of Tholpavakoothu. Let's hear that from Rajeev Pulavar.
ഇത് പ്രധാനമായിട്ടുള്ള മിത്ത് എന്താണെന്ന് വെച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഭദ്രകാളിയും ധാരികനും തമ്മിലുള്ള അതിഘോരമായ യുദ്ധം നടക്കും.
The myth behind this art form is that goddess Bhadragali wins the battle against Dharika as per the Hindu mythology, and she finds that her victory is not being praised by anyone. Rather, the victory of Rama over Ravana is being praised. She then asks her father, Lord Shiva, whether her victory is not being celebrated as she is a female. Bhadragali had a feministic way of thoughts even at that time. Lord Shiva replies that it is not because you are a female, but because the war between Rama and Ravana is actually the war between the good and the evil. The good and evil are things that are being found within us, and hence the victory of good over evil is being praised. Then Bhadragali desired to see this war and shared it with Lord Shiva. As the war was over, there is no possible way to see this in real life. That is when Lord Shiva told her to be at the island of Sulpayaga, and there Lord Shiva would depict the war using shadows. Thus, it was Lord Shiva who developed Tholpavakoothu, taking the form of Kamba, fulfilling the desire of his daughter Bhadragali. It is based on this myth that Tholpavakoothu is being performed from January till May in Kerala.
പരമേശ്വരൻ തന്നെ കമ്പരായി അവതരിച്ച് തന്റെ മകളുടെ കുന്തിക്ക് വേണ്ടി തൊൽപ്പാവക്കൂത്ത് കമ്പരാമായണം ചിട്ടപ്പെടുത്തി ദേവീക്ഷേത്രങ്ങളിൽ അവതരിപ്പിക്കാനുള്ള പ്രധാനമായ കാരണം. ഈ ഒരു മിത്തിന്റെ അടിസ്ഥാനത്തിലാണ് ഇപ്പോഴും എല്ലാ ഉത്സവകാലങ്ങളിലും ജനുവരി മുതൽ മെയ് മാസം വരെ തൊൽപ്പാവക്കൂത്ത് യാതൊരു മുടക്കവും കൂടാതെ കേരളത്തിൽ നടത്തിവരുന്നു.
So guys, this is the first revolutionary art form. I repeat, revolutionary art form. The time when the caste system ruled our land. Tholpavakoothu was one art form that could be enjoyed by all, irrespective of caste differences, says Rajeev Pulavar.
ഇത് കേരളത്തിലെ ആദ്യത്തെ വിപ്ലവ കലാരൂപം കൂടിയാണ്. കാരണം ജാതി മത വ്യവസ്ഥകളെല്ലാം ഉണ്ടായിരുന്ന
This is the first revolutionary art form in the world. In the midst of all kinds of caste discriminations, this was the one art form that could be viewed by all irrespective of discriminations. When the other art forms came under the domination of the upper caste, being within the walls of the temple, Tholpavakoothu broke all class and caste differences and was performed outside the temple, thereby being an art form that could be enjoyed by all.
How many of us, I ask you, how many of us still hold on to such revolutionary art forms? How many of us would dare to break out from such bondages? In fact, are you in bondage? Think about it. And let me tell you something before I sign off. If you wish to see this awesome team of Padmasree Ramachandra Pulavar and Rajeev Pulavar perform the art of puppetry, be there at Alapura on the 25th of March. You want to know more? Make your comments in the comment box. Now the discussion is open to comments and criticisms. Do make your suggestions and feel free to comment. I shall come up with more interesting facts. Stay tuned. I'm Ranjit signing off from SHOWTIME.